Hey there, my name is Rich. I'm a freelance filmmaker based in London, and welcome to vlog number 6. So, this job was a bit of a last minute job that came in, um, and it is going up to Manchester to film some advertising boards. And with me is my partner Rosie. She's a producer at an agency in London. The job is through her agency, so that's quite nice. But this is the first time we're actually filming together, so it's quite nice that we're able to do this together. Here we are on the way to the station, just about to get the train, but here is my camera bag, and in a moment we'll cut to the clip of me explaining what's in my camera bag for this shoot. So this is my camera bag, so this is the Sack Pack version 2. I don't love it, but it's really big and it is able to store most of the stuff that I need to take. Sometimes I take a wheelie bag as well as this, or my pelly case as well as this, but normally this has my 2 cameras in and lenses and any other stuff that I need, like my gimbal. So I bought this in the summer and I've used it a fair bit. I've taken it abroad on planes. The issue I have with it, it's great because it is able to store like my camera. I can fit my FX6 normally in this bit, and then I put the A7 here. But if you look here, these dividers always come. They always sort of unstick from the side here and pull apart, and then it all just bends. It was straight. This was straight, but it just sort of falls apart, and every time I open up the bag it's all sort of in different space. Anyway, that's fine because I'll rejig it in a minute. But I thought I'd just tell you what I am going to use on this shoot. So this shoot is basically just filming some advertising billboards, and then asking some members of the public. We're doing some vox pops as well, so we're asking the members of the public what they've thought. So I'm taking my Sony A7S, and at the moment I've got the 24-70 on there, so that will go on the gimbal, but also I'll be able to put that on my monopod for the vox pops as well. So A7S and 24-70, and then I have the 16-25 Sony. So this is my wide angle lens. Apparently there's a really big screen sort of in the ceiling, so this is able to give me the really wide view looking up at the screen and just give me some really nice establishing shots. And then my next lens in here, I've got the A7siii Vision Prime 35mm. So because we're doing vox pops, the client has asked for quite a soft background. So this obviously goes to T1.4, so that will be able to give me that soft background. Yeah, so that's good. And then I've also got the A7siii Vision Prime 50mm. So the 50mm 1.4. So if it depends. I'll either use this one or the 35. But I think we need to be filming for 1.1, 9:16 and 16:9. So all the formats. So I fear that if I use this, I might be a little close for when it needs to be cropped, but I'll take it in case. So I've got these. So I've also got these lenses. I actually use these little wraps. So they're sort of square wraps with Velcro on the corners. These are from Timber. I got these actually with a Timber bag. So I bought a Timber rucksack. It's called like the Cine pack, and they give you these wraps with it. So they're quite useful for wrapping up lenses. And then what else have I got? I've got my DJI Mic 2s. So these are great because it just clips on straight into the hot shoe, and then I get the sound straight in, and there's no cables, so those are great. I've also got, for the Vox Pops, this little stick mic, so the mic 2 will just stick here. You can either slot it in the top here using that. It's almost like a hot shoe receiver, cold shoe receiver type thing, or it actually has a little magnet piece that I'm dropping it everywhere because I'm filming at the same time, that you can drop in, and then it will just magnetize to this, and then I can put this over the top and someone can hold that, and that's great, works really well. So that goes with that. And then I've got some little mounting things, so this is just so that I'll put this on the bottom of the A7S, and then I can put the follow focus if I want to put that on for when I'm doing Vox Pops on the because these are manual lenses, so just a bit of rigging there if I want to, which I probably will. And then what else have I got? I've got a little onboard camera mic, so this is just on a little arm, and then that will just, if I need to put some more light onto the people that are talking to camera, I can do that. So this is just a USB-C charged little light, but it's quite bright, and it's bi-color as well, so I can change the temp, so all on the wheels here, but yeah, so change the temp. But this is a pretty cheap little thing. It's Vigin, there you go, but does the job. And then what else have I got in here? I've got my little portable battery pack just to take with me if I'm need to charge things. I've got my little T screwdriver just to do everything base plate related. So these, when you've got these kind of screws, these T-bars are so good at. So I've got a couple of them that they just live in my kit. I've got a V-mount battery here, just on a V-mount plate, so that I can put that on that racking. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. And then I've got my lav mics here. I've just got a kit of them. I've got some black ones, some white ones, and just a whole load, just in case, because I've had people ask, can you do spare batteries? So I've got 4 batteries in here, and then 1 in the camera, so that lasts me forever. Charger, so this charges through USB-C, charges 3 at once, pretty great. ND filter, so this will fit 3 of the lenses that I'm taking, and then 1 is a 77mm thread, so I'm not taking a filter for that. I don't think I'll actually use the ND filter. But yeah, that's everything in my camera bag. Oh yeah, and then also I will be packing card reader as well. So there you go. So yeah, that's what I'm taking in my camera bag. I didn't actually show where my gimbal is in that camera bag. I am taking the gimbal with me as well, and also I've got a monopod with me as well, so a few bits. But yeah, so here we are, we're taking the train up. We got to Euston, put the bags on the train, and then it's a 2 and a bit hour journey. So we sat and watched the world go by. Quite nice to see the countryside, and then the rain. Arriving in the hotel, and then getting everything packed into this bag. Quick little reset. Moved things from this bag into this bag so that we can be light. Got my monopod here, so I've put my little tripod head on the monopod, and then my camera, which has the cage on it, that has I think it's Arca Swiss bottom bit to the cage, so it just goes straight on the gimbal, and then I can whip it straight off and then onto the tripod. So yeah, and then I've got my gimbal all balanced. I've got the 16 to 25 for some mental wide shots, and then a few other lenses in the bag that you'll see later. Then once we arrive, we've got to do all the admin stuff, sign in, and then get our lovely high vis, and then here we are. So it's a bit of a weird one, this one. So we were filming some advertising sort of big screens that they have in this sort of shopping restaurant centre. So the brief was to capture the screens and capture people looking at the screens, how it's grabbing their attention. So I filmed it a mix between handheld and on the gimbal. The gimbal to get the really nice, smooth, wide shots of going into this sort of this shopping centre almost, and then on handheld to get tighter, closer shots. So yeah, this is one of the big screens out the front of the centre, so you can see I'm really enjoying myself here. And then, so for the Vox Pops, I took it off the gimbal and had it on my monopod, and you can see that I've got the 35mm prime on there. So because the client wanted a shallow depth of field in the background, so I've got the 1.4 Vision Prime on there. A little light, didn't end up using it in the end. That I found that if you can actually see behind me, the light is like does quite a good job of lighting up the face. You can see that sort of white beam light that is happening. So didn't really need that. And then I've got the DJI mic plugged in, so it's all good and it sounded great. And yeah, I spent a fair bit of time switching between my setups, which is the only kind of annoying thing that wound me up a little bit. I felt like I spent a lot of time switching between setups, and then on the train home back to London, and the job is done. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. And I did actually have a comment in the last video about how I carry all my stands and how did I get the job. So that previous job, filming Robbie Williams, I got through a previous contact producer of mine, that's with CNBC. So I'd done a lot of work with them in the past over this year. So that's how I got that one. And then how do I carry my stands? They all go in my tripod bag, baby. They all fit. I can fit 3 stands and my tripod in that bag, and that's why I've got it.